Hello, students. I hope you're all having a great day and ready to learn something new. Today, we're going to talk about a very important topic: why learning English is so important. Now, you may have heard people say that English is a global language. But what does that really mean? Well, it means that English is spoken in many countries around the world. It's used in schools, businesses, and even on the internet. In fact, if you can speak English, you can communicate with people from almost any part of the world. Isn't that amazing? Learning English isn't just about speaking another language. It's about opening doors to new opportunities. Whether you want to get a good job, travel to different countries, or understand what's happening in the world, English will help you do that. And the best part is, anyone can learn English with practice and patience. So, in this story, I'm going to share why learning English is so important and how it can change your life in many wonderful ways. Let's get started. Let's start by talking about why English is called a global language. Imagine this: you're traveling to different countries around the world. You go to the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, or even countries in Asia like India or the Philippines. What's the one language that most people understand, no matter where you are? It's English. English is spoken by millions of people in many countries. In some countries, like the United States and the UK, English is the first language. In other countries, like India, Singapore, and Nigeria, English is used as a second language. This means that even though people might speak their own local language, they also use English to communicate with people from other places. Now, think about this. When people from different countries meet, what language do they often use? That's right, English. It has become the language that connects people across the world. Even if someone speaks French, Spanish, or Chinese, they might use English to talk to someone from another country. This makes English very important for communication. You'll find that English is used in many international meetings, businesses, and organizations. It's the language of international companies, airlines, and even technology. If you want to send an email to someone in another country, chances are you will write it in English. If you attend a conference or a big event, English will most likely be the main language spoken there. This is because it's the easiest way for people from different countries to understand each other. English is also used in many international schools and universities. Students from all over the world come together to learn, and English helps them communicate. When you learn English, you can study in countries like the United States, Canada, or Australia. These are some of the best places to study, and knowing English will help you understand the lessons and talk to other students. But it's not just about school or work. English is everywhere in our daily lives too. Have you ever watched a movie, a TV show, or a YouTube video in English? Most movies and entertainment are made in English, and many people around the world enjoy them. When you learn English, you can understand and enjoy these things without needing subtitles or translations. Isn't that great? So, as you can see, English is truly a global language. It's not only spoken in one or two countries, it's used in many places across the world. When you learn English, you open yourself up to so many new opportunities and experiences. You can talk to people from different countries, study anywhere in the world, and enjoy movies, music, and information that's in English. This is why learning English is so important. It helps you connect with the world, no matter where you are. Now let's talk about something that I know is important to many of you: opportunities. Learning English can open so many doors for you, especially when it comes to jobs and education. You might not realize it now, but as you improve your English skills, you will see how many new paths become available to you. Let's start by talking about jobs. In today's world, many companies are looking for people who can speak and understand English. Why? Because these companies often do business with people from different countries, and English is the language they use to communicate. Whether it's a company in your home country that works with international clients or a company in another country, they need employees who can speak English. Think about this. When you apply for a job, especially with an international company, one of the first things they might ask is, "Can you speak English?" If you answer yes, that immediately puts you ahead of other candidates who don't speak English. It shows that you can communicate with clients, write emails, give presentations, and even attend international meetings. Employers know that someone who speaks English has more skills to offer. In fact, many companies won't even consider hiring someone who doesn't speak English, especially if they do business internationally. If you want to work for a big company, like a multinational corporation or even a tech company, learning English is essential. It's not just a bonus skill, it's something that's often required. But it's not just about big international companies. Even local businesses like hotels, restaurants, or tourist companies often look for people who can speak English. Imagine working at a hotel where people from all over the world come to stay. How would you help them if you didn't speak English? Learning English can give you the chance to work in industries like tourism and hospitality, where interacting with people from different countries is part of the job. Now let's talk about education. Just like with jobs, learning English can open doors to better schools and universities. Many of the best universities in the world, like Harvard, Oxford, and Stanford, teach their courses in English. If you want to study at one of these top universities, or even at a good university in your own country, you will need to know English. Not only will English help you get into these schools, but it will also help you succeed once you're there. Most of the textbooks and research papers are written in English. If you know how to read and understand English, you can learn more easily and do better in your classes. And when you graduate, you will have even more opportunities to get a great job, because employers value people who have an international education. Even if you don't plan to study abroad, many schools in your own country offer courses in English. Sometimes universities have special programs that are taught entirely in English because they want to attract students from other countries. If you can speak English, you can join these programs and learn alongside students from all over the world. It's not just universities either. Many online courses are available in English too. Whether you want to learn something new for your career or just for fun, there are thousands of online courses you can take, and most of them are taught in English. By learning English, you can access this huge library of knowledge and continue learning throughout your life. Let's not forget about traveling either. If you want to work or study in another country, English can be your key. Many countries offer work or study visas, and knowing English can make it easier to get one. If you apply to study in an English-speaking country, like the United States, the United Kingdom, or Australia, you'll need to prove that you can speak English. This is where exams like the IELTS or TOEFL come in, and learning English will help you pass these tests and get the visa you need. In short, learning English creates so many opportunities. It can help you get a better job, study at a top university, or even live and work in another country. And these opportunities aren't just limited to big cities or foreign countries, they exist everywhere. By learning English, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities that you might not have had before. So, if you want to improve your life, whether through a better career, higher education, or personal growth, learning English is the first step. It's a skill that will stay with you forever and will continue to open doors for you no matter where you go. That's why it's so important to keep practicing and improving your English every day. The more you learn, the more opportunities you'll have in the future. Now, let's talk about one of the most exciting things in life: traveling. Have you ever dreamed of visiting a new country, seeing famous landmarks, or experiencing different cultures? Traveling is an amazing way to learn, explore, and enjoy the world. But one thing you'll notice when you travel is that English becomes very, very important. Let me explain why. When you travel to another country, especially if you're going somewhere far from home, you'll likely meet people who speak different languages. It can be difficult to communicate if you don't know the local language. But here's the great thing. English is spoken in so many parts of the world that it can help you get by almost anywhere. Even if the local language is something like French, Japanese, or Spanish, there's a good chance that someone will be able to speak English with you. That's one of the reasons why English is so useful when traveling. It's like a common language that connects people from all over the world. Let's start at the beginning of your journey, the airport. Airports are usually busy and filled with people from many different countries. If you're flying internationally, most of the signs, announcements, and information will be in English. When you check in for your flight or go through security, the staff will often speak English, even if it's not their first language. Knowing English can help you understand what's going on and make your travel experience much smoother. Imagine being in an airport where no one speaks your language and you don't speak English. Finding your gate or understanding flight changes would be very confusing. But when you know English, you can ask for help, understand the signs, and feel more confident about your trip. Once you arrive at your destination, English will continue to be useful. Let's say you've just landed in a new country and need to get to your hotel. At the taxi stand or the train station, many of the staff will speak English. You can ask for directions, buy tickets, and explain where you want to go, all in English. Even if the taxi driver doesn't speak perfect English, knowing some basic phrases in English will help you communicate. When you finally reach your hotel, English becomes even more important. Most hotels, especially those that cater to international guests, have staff who can speak English. At the front desk, you'll often find people who speak multiple languages, and English is usually one of them. Whether you're checking in, asking for information about the area, or ordering room service, English will help you get what you need. Hotels in popular tourist destinations often offer services and amenities in English, so you can understand things like menus, room instructions, or even tours and activities. Without English, simple tasks like checking in or asking for a towel could become difficult and frustrating. And let's not forget about eating. One of the best parts of traveling is trying new foods, but it can be a little tricky if you don't speak the local language. In many restaurants, especially in tourist areas, the menus are printed in English alongside the local language. If you know how to read English, you can easily choose what you want to eat. Even if the restaurant staff don't speak much English, Being able to understand the menu or explain what you want in simple English can make the experience much easier and more enjoyable. Imagine trying to order food in a foreign language you don't know at all. It would be challenging. But with English, you can relax and focus on enjoying the new flavors and experiences. English is also helpful when you're out exploring. Whether you're visiting a museum, shopping at a local market, or taking a tour, English is often the language used to give directions or explain things to tourists. Museums and historical sites often have information signs or guides in English, so you can learn more about what you're seeing. Many tour guides will speak English too, allowing you to understand the stories behind famous landmarks or cultural sites. Being able to follow along in English adds so much to your travel experience because you can understand the history, culture, and significance of the places you visit. And if you ever get lost or need help while traveling, English can be a lifesaver. Let's say you're walking through a busy city and suddenly realize you don't know how to get back to your hotel. Who do you ask for help? Many times you'll find that someone nearby speaks English and can help you find your way. Whether it's asking for directions or figuring out how to use public transportation, knowing English makes it much easier to get the information you need. Even in emergencies, English is often the language used. If you need medical help or assistance from the police while traveling, English will likely be the language used to communicate with international travelers. Hospitals, clinics, and police stations in many countries have staff who can speak English to help tourists in need. This is another reason why knowing English can make you feel safer and more confident when you're traveling. It helps you handle unexpected situations. But it's not just about practical things like airports and hotels. English also opens the door to new friendships when you travel. Imagine meeting people from different countries who are also traveling. Even though you come from different places and speak different languages, you can communicate in English. You can share stories, experiences, and laughter, all thanks to English. Traveling is about more than just seeing new places. It's about connecting with people, and English is a tool that helps you do that. In short, when you travel, English is like your guide. It helps you navigate airports, hotels, restaurants, and even local attractions. It makes your trip easier, more enjoyable, and more memorable. Whether you're in a big city or a small village, knowing English gives you the ability to communicate, ask for help, and fully experience everything the world has to offer. So, if you love the idea of traveling and exploring new places, learning English is one of the best things you can do to make your adventures even better. Now let's talk about the internet, a place we all spend a lot of time in, whether it's for learning, entertainment, or staying connected with friends. The online world is massive, and it has become an important part of our daily lives. But here's something interesting. Did you know that a huge amount of the content on the internet is in English? In fact, most of the websites, videos, articles, and resources we use online are written or produced in English. So, learning English isn't just useful for speaking and traveling. It's also essential for fully enjoying and benefiting from the internet. Let's start by looking at websites. When you browse the web, whether you're searching for information or shopping for something, you'll notice that many of the most popular websites are in English. Think about sites like Google, Facebook, YouTube, Amazon, and Wikipedia. These are some of the biggest websites in the world, and they are primarily in English. Even though some of these sites offer translations into other languages, the original content is often in English, and the most updated information is usually available in English first. For example, if you're searching for a specific topic, you might notice that the best and most reliable information is often found on English language websites. This is because many experts, scientists, and professionals around the world share their knowledge in English. Whether you want to learn about the latest technology, medical advancements, or business strategies, most of this information is published online in English. If you can read and understand English, you have access to a wealth of knowledge and resources that might not be available in other languages. Let's say you're trying to find a tutorial on how to do something, like cooking a new recipe, fixing your computer, or learning a new skill. Where do you go? YouTube, right? YouTube is filled with millions of videos on almost every topic you can think of, and many of these videos are in English. Whether you're watching a documentary, a travel vlog, or a tutorial, English is often the main language used. Even if you're watching a video from someone in another country, there's a good chance that they'll be speaking English or have English subtitles. Learning English helps you understand and enjoy this huge variety of content. You won't need to rely on subtitles or translations, which aren't always accurate or available. You'll be able to watch videos, follow tutorials, and learn new things directly in English. This is especially helpful when you're trying to learn something complex, like coding, graphic design, or engineering, because the most detailed and high-quality videos are usually in English. The internet is full of opportunities to learn new skills, and knowing English makes it so much easier to take advantage of these resources. Another important part of the online world is social media. Social media platforms like Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok connect people from all over the world. And guess what? English is the most commonly used language on these platforms. When you scroll through your feed, you'll see posts, captions, and comments in English. If you want to interact with people from different countries, English is the language that brings everyone together. Whether you're commenting on a post, sharing your thoughts, or just chatting with friends online, knowing English allows you to connect with a global audience. English also plays a big role in online communities and forums. Let's say you have a question or want to join a discussion about a hobby or interest. You can find online communities for almost anything, whether it's gaming, photography, travel, or fitness. Many of these communities are international, and English is the language people use to communicate. When you know English, you can join these communities, ask questions, share ideas, and learn from people all over the world. It's a great way to make new friends and expand your knowledge on any subject. Let's not forget about online learning. The internet has completely changed the way we learn, and there are now thousands of courses, tutorials, and educational resources available online. Many of the best online courses are taught in English. Whether you're learning a new language, studying for an exam, or picking up a new skill, platforms like Coursera, Udemy, and Khan Academy offer courses that are usually in English. By learning English, you can access these courses and improve your knowledge in any area you choose. For example, let's say you want to improve your skills for a job. Many companies now offer online training programs in English. By completing these courses, you can earn certificates that will help you get a better job or advance in your career. But without knowing English, it would be difficult to understand the lessons or complete the assignments. Learning English makes it possible for you to take advantage of these online learning opportunities and continue growing professionally. Another area where English is important is when you're doing research. If you're a student or someone who needs to look up information for work or personal projects, the internet is an amazing tool. But most of the research papers, articles, and reports are published in English. For example, if you're researching a scientific topic, you'll find that most of the cutting-edge research is written in English. Even in fields like medicine, engineering, or economics, the best and most detailed studies are often available only in English. Being able to read and understand these resources in English gives you access to the most accurate and up-to-date information. You won't have to rely on translated versions, which may not capture the full meaning of the original text. This is especially important if you're studying at a university or working in a field where research and data are crucial. Knowing English allows you to stay informed and make better decisions based on the latest information. Finally, let's talk about entertainment. The internet is filled with endless options for fun and entertainment, from watching movies and shows to playing games and reading books. And guess what? A lot of this content is in English. Many of the most popular movies, TV shows, and games are created in English, and while subtitles or translations might be available, the original experience is always better. When you know English, you can enjoy these things as they were meant to be experienced. For example, when you watch a movie in English, you can understand the jokes, emotions, and cultural references without needing subtitles. The same goes for video games. Many of the top games are in English, and understanding the storylines, dialogues, and instructions is much easier when you speak the language. Even reading books or articles online is more enjoyable in English because you can access the original content without waiting for a translation. In conclusion, the internet is a huge part of our lives, and English is the key to unlocking its full potential. From browsing websites and watching videos to joining online communities and taking courses, English helps you make the most of everything the internet has to offer. Whether you're learning, working, or just having fun, knowing English will allow you to navigate the online world with confidence and ease. So, if you want to fully enjoy the internet and all its resources, learning English is a must. Let's now talk about something really important: personal growth. You might wonder, how does learning English help me grow as a person? Well, believe it or not, learning a new language like English is not just about understanding words and sentences. It's about changing who you are, boosting your confidence, and helping you feel proud of your progress. First, let's think about confidence. When you start learning English, it might feel challenging at first. You might be unsure about pronunciation, grammar, or even speaking in front of others. But here's the thing. The more you practice, the more confident you become. Every time you learn a new word, understand a new sentence, or finish reading something in English, you're building your skills, and with those skills comes confidence. Imagine that feeling when you're able to understand a conversation in English, watch a movie without subtitles, or even respond to someone in English. Each of these moments, no matter how small, boosts your self-confidence. Think about a time when you accomplished something that was difficult at first, maybe riding a bike, cooking a new recipe, or solving a tricky math problem. Do you remember how great it felt? Learning English is the same. Every small step you take in learning the language helps you grow more confident in your abilities. And the best part is that this confidence doesn't just help with learning English, it affects other areas of your life too. You start to feel like you can take on new challenges because you've already succeeded in mastering a new language. One of the most powerful things about learning English is how it makes you feel. Every time you achieve a small goal, whether it's remembering a new word, understanding a conversation, or finishing a lesson, you feel proud of yourself. And that feeling of pride is so important for your personal growth. Learning English gives you a sense of accomplishment, and this feeling encourages you to keep going. You might not realize it, but learning a new language like English is a huge achievement. Many people dream of learning a second language, but it takes real dedication and effort to make that dream a reality. By studying English, you're showing yourself that you can set a goal and reach it. This feeling of achievement stays with you and can even motivate you to accomplish other goals in life, whether they're related to work, school, or personal dreams. Let's also talk about how learning English changes your mindset. As you continue to learn, you begin to see yourself as someone who can grow and improve. This is called a growth mindset, the belief that you can get better at anything with practice and effort. When you first start learning English, you might make mistakes, and that's okay. Mistakes are a part of learning. The important thing is that you don't give up. Each mistake is a chance to learn something new, and every time you practice, you get a little better. Having a growth mindset is important not just for learning English, but for everything in life. It teaches you that challenges are not something to be afraid of. They're opportunities to grow. When you believe that you can improve with practice, you're more likely to try new things, take on challenges, and keep going even when things get tough. So, learning English helps you develop this mindset, which can lead to personal growth in so many other areas of your life. Now let's talk about the social side of learning English. As you become more confident in your language skills, you'll find that you're more open to meeting new people and sharing your thoughts. Knowing English allows you to connect with people from all over the world, whether it's online or in person. And this connection can lead to personal growth in ways you might not expect. When you meet people from different cultures, share experiences, and learn about their lives, you expand your understanding of the world. You become more open-minded and empathetic, which is a huge part of growing as a person. One of the most rewarding aspects of learning English is how it opens up opportunities for you to express yourself. Sometimes, it's hard to express your thoughts and ideas in your native language, especially when it comes to complex topics. But as you become more fluent in English, you'll find that you can express yourself in new ways. You can share your opinions, tell stories, and even have deeper conversations with others. This ability to communicate clearly and confidently in English gives you a sense of empowerment. You feel more in control of how you express yourself, and that leads to personal growth. But none of this happens overnight. Like anything worthwhile in life, learning English requires daily practice. It's important to remember that every day you practice, you're growing, little by little. Whether it's practicing speaking with a friend, listening to English podcasts, or even watching a TV show in English, each activity helps you improve. It's not about being perfect. It's about making progress. I encourage you to set aside some time every day to practice English. Even if it's just for 10 or 15 minutes, that time will add up. Over the weeks and months, you'll notice how much better you're becoming. And as you see your progress, your confidence will grow even more. It's like planting a seed and watching it grow into a tree. The more you nurture it, the stronger it becomes. There are so many ways to practice English every day. You can start by reading simple articles, watching English videos with subtitles, or writing down new words in a notebook. The key is to make it a habit. Just like exercising or eating healthy, practicing English should become a part of your daily routine. The more you practice, the easier it will become. And soon, you'll notice that you're not just learning English, you're growing as a person. In addition to daily practice, don't be afraid to challenge yourself. Try speaking in English, even if you're nervous. Have conversations with people, ask questions, and practice using new words and phrases. Remember, making mistakes is part of the process, and it's how you learn. The more you practice, the more confident you'll feel, and with that confidence comes personal growth. You'll find yourself more willing to try new things, take risks, and embrace opportunities. So, learning English is not just about improving your language skills, it's about becoming a more confident, empowered, and open-minded person. It helps you grow both personally and socially. You'll find that as you learn English, you'll start to believe in your ability to achieve other goals too. You'll see challenges as opportunities for growth, and you'll approach new situations with more confidence. In conclusion, learning English is a journey that leads to personal growth in so many ways. It builds your confidence, makes you feel proud of your progress, and opens up opportunities for self-expression and connection with others. Every day that you practice, you're not just learning a language, you're growing as a person. So keep practicing, keep challenging yourself, and remember that every step you take is bringing you closer to becoming the best version of yourself. In the end, learning English is one of the best decisions you can make for your future. It opens up so many doors and opportunities. Whether you want a better job, plan to travel the world, or just want to enjoy everything the internet has to offer, knowing English will help you achieve those goals. It's a global language spoken in many countries, used in international business, education, and even in everyday communication when you're traveling. Plus, it allows you to connect with people from different cultures, learn new things, and build friendships across the globe. Learning English also helps you grow personally. As you practice and improve, you'll notice that your confidence grows, and you start to feel proud of your progress. You'll be able to express yourself more clearly and connect with others in ways you couldn't before. It's a journey that takes time, but every step forward brings you closer to mastering the language. So, I want to encourage you to keep going. Every day, practice a little more, learn new words, listen to English, and try to speak as much as possible. Remember, it's okay to make mistakes. That's how you learn. The more you practice, the better you'll get, and before you know it, you'll be speaking and understanding English with ease. Don't give up, and don't be afraid of challenges. The rewards of learning English are worth every bit of effort you put in, so keep learning, keep improving, and soon you'll see just how far you've come.